So Longitudinal Ageing Study in India, or LASI as it is called, it's a project by Ministry of Family and Health Welfare, Government of India, which aims to gather scientific data on population 45 years and above. Okay, so it's a nationwide study, and we have been awarded for states of Meghalaya and Sikkim. The study aims to, as said, scientific data on various aspects of elderly people, namely demographic, their financial, social and economical, family and social network. Okay, and most importantly, the health aspect of people. So, and this is again perceived as well as real, measured. Okay, and it's and again on health front, mental as well as physical. So this study tries to cover and gather information from individuals on all aspects of their lives.
When we say longitudinal study, it is not a cross-sectional study. Cross-sectional study is we go one time to the community, do the survey, collect the data, come back. This is a longitudinal study. Every alternate years for next 20 to 25 years, we will be visiting the same household. Meaning, the onus of responsibility lies with you all. You have to establish a rapport, because any respondent who is giving us data, it's not binding for them to give us data. They are doing us a favor. So how you have established your rapport with them is very important. And this study is also very important to the country. Why it is very important for the country, I'll let you know. We are in LASI, we are trying to study our elderly population, because of improvement in medical facilities, medical services, good medicines, good service care. Our elderly populations are growing in number. The life expectancy has grown, has increased to a phenomenal height.
I think MRSS India is trying to be India's first market research agency, which is becoming a multinational. And with that vision, we are working in interesting sectors. And I think you rightly asked about Northeast. Throughout last, I think, 4 or 5 decades of market research industry in India, we have seen that the Northeast has been a challenge for most companies to market their brands, and even for market research agencies. In fact, even if you look at a lot of doctoral work and PhD, etc., there also one of the main limitations pointed out is that research in Northeast cannot be done. MRSS wants to break this unfortunate tradition, and we want to be the agency which specializes in Northeast. We want that if any point of time, any organization, may it be a commercial organization or a private organization or a brand, thinks of marketing or market research in Northeast, they should think of MRSS. We are very bullish on Northeast. We are seeing a huge pipeline of opportunities in Northeast. And we think that this is an opportunity for us. If you look at Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Assam. I think there are tremendous opportunities. This belt is a jewel of India, which has been unfortunately ignored. And we are very, very undeterred. We do not have any intimidation. In fact, we have been, this is one of the first projects we are launching with a government agency. But trust me, this is going to be the beginning of a slew of projects in Northeast. We are working on government tenders, on commercial tenders, and we will look to make Northeast a hub for market research in the coming future. I think social research is a very important area. MRSS is identified social research as an important vertical. In fact, we are creating a center of excellence of social research within MRSS. We have started this vertical about almost 2 years back, and we have seen great success in this. What is social research? Social research is research conducted by NGOs, by funds like World Bank, UNICEF, UNDP, IIPS, Ministry of Healthcare, Ministry of Communication. They want to do an assessment of the impact of investment. Northeast is also a very large segment or area where a lot of investment happens. But is the investment being perceived rightly? Is it actually having an effect? Is there change which is happening? That is what social research does. And we are very proud that we have Dr. Shrikant Patel heading this, and we are adding a number of people. In fact, in the last 3 months, the team capacity of social research has almost been tripled, and we are looking at multi-million-dollar projects in the field of social research. And this also encompasses CSR. So there are a lot of organizations who do corporate social responsibility projects, and given this segment and given the large size, I think there is a lot of, even though India is a diverse culture, still I think the Northeast has got a lot of similarities. So it's very easy to actually cover Northeast, and we are looking at Assam, Meghalaya, Sikkim as important markets to begin with, and we will obviously expand this to other markets. Social research is not commercial research, but at the same time, private labels, you see the amount of advertising that is happening here is very different. It may not be the national brands which are present, but national brands want to be present. We are going to campaign or propagate the idea of branding in Northeast, marketing in Northeast via our market research services to these big brands. So that is why we are very bullish on Northeast.
Longitudinal aging study in India is in fact the one of its kind being done in all states of the country. The basic objective of LASI is to gather scientific and credible data on elderly population in order to understand the aging process and the disease burden, both physical as well as mental disease burden within the population. This will in fact help the government to design policies and programs to ameliorate the problems of aging. There are different cultural practices pertaining to different regions, and elders are seen differently. They are all respected, but there are nuances in terms of culture. So through this study, we are also trying to understand how the elderly are being treated within the family as well as in the community. Also, we are trying to do some biomarker test. For example, anthropometry. Anthropometry is the science where you measure the height and weight and other parameters like hip circumference, waist circumference, because that gives you some kind of information on the physical and health condition of a person. Like if a person is predisposed with some non-communicable disease, NCDs. Now these days, high blood pressure and diabetes are in the rise. So what proportion of the population, elderly population, are under the burden of non-communicable diseases, so that there will be policy formulation by the government to address this problem. LASI also takes into account the functionality problem of elderly people, and for that we have different tests that we are going to measure in the community, elderly community. We are also trying to collect blood samples to understand their immunity level, and different biomarkers will be assessed through the blood samples. And also we are trying to understand their economic standing within the community, within the family. So this is primarily the objective of LASI, to create a database pertaining to the elderly population, and so that the government can do analysis on the data, and design products in terms of insurance, health insurance, and which would help our elderly population in addressing these problems.